There's Linda taking a nap. Let's say the chosen one. I'm in a meeting with all the producers right now. This is a meeting for Hollywood. Let's say the chosen one gets $1 million. Let's give him a shot, $1 million. So I take $250,000 of it for basically pay off all my student loans, pay off my important debt. Important debt that I would need. Any important debt that has to be paid off. Not credit cards or anything like that. Just some absolutely important debt. Debt that, you're garnished by. Because I'm being garnished. I use $150,000 to pay off the student loan. Because I know they're not going to pay it off. I use an important chunk of it to pay off another debt. So they'll stop garnishing me. I keep $100,000 for myself to live on. I give $250,000 to Chaz Statham to play Peter Miller. He'd do it. Chaz Statham, also known as Charles Statham, would get $250,000 to play Peter Miller in The Chosen One. I give $100,000 to Rob Vasquez, to play the head of the secret agency. All the other actors get $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. This actor comes in, he gets $50,000. No stars, other than us. We shoot it on an iPhone, the one I'm holding. No boom mics. No special lighting. We can use lighting like this. No boom mics, no special lighting. We interpret the script I sent up tonight, which is the original script that was written by hand on a legal pad. She's still taking a nap. We live on this money as artists for the rest of our lives. I can live on $100,000 probably for the rest of my life. I can make it work. I'll probably put it in an account, some type of account that would help me. Better than checking with interest. Something that's good. Everybody else is free to do with whatever they want with the money. That's just $1 million. If we got the funding for $1 million. Now, of course, we're going to need a zone. Of course, we're going to have to zone for traffic for certain shots. So we go to the Fort Worth Film Commission, or we go to the Texas Film Commission. We say, listen, we want to zone this parts of Fort Worth for this day. Here's our money. And we get the people there that help zone the traffic for shooting this. And all we're using is an iPhone. But we still have to do it so that we can control the film completely. We'd want to zone certain parts of Fort Worth. It'd have to all be down on paper. So everybody that shows up, I show them the permit. Don't worry, guys. We're zoning this. Nobody can come in and out in these segments. Everybody feels safe. We get catering from Jason's Deli. So whatever you like at Jason's Deli would be brought to us every day. If you're a vegetarian, then you get a salad dish. If you like to eat meat, then you get meat. If you like pasta, it'd have to come from Jason's Deli. So Jason's Deli would be behind it. We could use a lot of the Rose Mariner actors that also know Rob. So there'd be a big Latino cast, Eddie and all the guys. That maybe people that were from A View from a Bridge and stuff, that were good actors. All those people that are part of that View from a Bridge stuff can also be as crew, as actors, as maybe helpers and directors of departments like makeup, costume, sound, all that stuff. So we employ also a whole theater. We could even employ the entire alliance, all the theaters, Hip Pocket, Rose Marine, Artist Del Rosso, Stage West, all of those guys, maybe parts of Casa Manana. They could be employed also to be parts of the crew and all this stuff, so we can bring those in. contracts, amount of money. Like I say, makeup department, we'll pay you $10,000, whatever. We're dealing with a whole million. Most of the million would go to people. Nothing would go to CGI. Nothing would go to editing. I would be in charge of filmmaking and editing. So I would oversee all the filmmaking and all the editing and choose my own team for that. We would use iMovie. We would use iMovie. We would use iMovie. And we would use Apple iPhone. Whatever we can get a hold of. Apple iPhone 14. No boom mics. Just the mic on the phone. So if there's a shot where the actor has to speak, then the shot goes close to their face so you can understand every word they say. Or we use voiceover in iMovie. Everything else doesn't matter. Post-production or the editing would also be all iMovie. So here it is. We have a very independent film funded of about $1 million so that we're able to do it. So that we're actually able to do it. And we use an Apple product and we use iMovie. It could be released by MGM. It could be released by Paramount. It could be released by Apple TV. But it has to be done with the phone. And that would be part of The Chosen One. And I think the script's already there, for at least the opening. If I continue writing the script, I will use that legal pad. If I have more dialogue, I'll send it to them just like I sent through YouTube. They can get it all from that post that's going up right now. This is a production meeting. If Apple wants to give me money, $1 million, to make The Chosen One, which is a movie that I wrote in 1994. Rob would know probably the exact time I wrote it. 1994, 95. Maybe it was 96. But I know for sure I came up with the idea in 1992. But it was definitely written around that time. Then we could do it. It has to be interpreted, okay? Which I'd be behind the direction too. So I'd be directing it. I'm also the writer. I'm also going to be a part of the editing department. Maybe just only me. The money will bring the other actors in. If I'm going to call somebody or get a hold of them and say, hey, listen, we're going to give you $250,000. We will place this in your account. You have to sign this contract and be a part of this movie. We're only going to give you this much. If you don't show, you're not going to get the full $250,000. So we start off with Chaz. To get his attention, we give him $10,000. So he gets $10,000. If he doesn't show, then he gets cut off. If anyone misses one rehearsal, if anyone misses one production thing, they get cut off. They have to commit to being there for every commercial. They have to commit to being there for every single rehearsal, every single day of shooting. They have to be there or they're cut off. Whatever money we give them to get them on board, they can keep. But if they leave, then they're cut off. And we find someone else, and they get the rest of their money. So if we make an agreement and say Charles Statham gets $250,000, then we bring him in on $10,000. And we dish it out to him as the film is made. That goes for every actor and every crew member. No one gets everything at once. Okay? We get them a little bit to get them coming. Once they arrive and the movie's on its way, they can keep getting paid. And then if they walk away, then they stop getting paid. Basically, everyone gets an advance, but not a lot of money. We're talking like $1,000 or $100 advance, enough to get them there and get to know that it's serious. Do you see what I'm saying? They can be paid through PayPal. They can be paid through Cash App. They can be paid digital. I would like to keep all the money digital. Through Apple. They can be paid through Apple or Gmail. However they're paid is however they're paid. GPay, I think they call it GPay. Not Gmail, GPay. Or Apple. But they need to tell me how they want the money and give me the information. I have to know, probably a phone call, or there'd be something where I know it's them. So if they email me, then I could email them back a secret about them. A time that we spent together or something, they know it's me, then that $10,000 or that amount of money would go into their account or their GPay so that we know we're on the same level. At that point, they would be on. That would be the contract. The contract would be sent to them. It just basically say that I can use their image, I can use their voice, I can use their biological whatever. Okay, the whole person of them. I can use them for the film. Everything would be sent to them in a contract. They can sign it, whatever. We don't have to get difficult software. It would just be a contract, probably a photo contract. Okay, the contracts would have to be signed. Once they come to set, they would sign that contract. It'd be the same exact contract that they saw the photo of. When they arrive on set, they would sign the contract. The money would already either be in their account or it'd be on its way. So by the time everything started, they'd already have the 10,000 or the 1,000 or the 100 or whatever it is that we can pay them. Then we're off. Okay, because money's going to keep them coming. Money's going to make them disciplined. Money is going to make them show up. Money is going to be the reason why. They're not going to do it for free. They can't. It's too dangerous. It's dangerous to do this kind of stuff for free. It's dangerous for me, and it's dangerous for them. It is dangerous to do an independent film for free because time and money is precious. You only have so much time to get that bill that's absolutely important. We're at 11 minutes. So you see, this is the first production meeting for The Chosen One. An independent movie made by Cole Spivey. It is a movie that I'm going to make. We're going to wait for the funding. Once the money comes in, then I will contact you. That goes for Charles, Rob Vasquez, and other people that will be part of the production. Whoever are the theaters that want to participate, we would have to find out. We don't need cattle call auditions. We already know who's going to be in the movie. Now, there's a young girl that's in the movie. There's also a woman called the cigarette smoking wife. The young girl would have to be on contract. That's difficult because dealing with children is precious. But we could put her under contract so when she shows up, she signs the contract. We have a signed contract with the youth. And we would probably have to have a youth director, someone that's young, a teacher, someone like that can be by her side the entire time we're filming. A teacher would be fine, a youth director, someone professional that could work with children. We're talking about she's probably, I don't know, she's probably maybe 9 or 10 years old or something like that. Because she's zipped up in a bag in one sequence. Don't think it's a long sequence. There's really no dialogue, but we'd want to use a real person. Or someone that may be of age that looks like a young girl. That could be a possibility. So we still have some searching to do, but ultimately, those are the challenges. Now, for example, setting. We just use Fort Worth as a setting. It's fine to make it modern day. We don't have to change Fort Worth. This is not JFK, like what Oliver Stone did with JFK. We don't have to change it into the 90s. It looks roughly about the same. Even the YMCA looks roughly about the same that it did in the 90s. Everything looks about the same. There's some other changes, but it doesn't have to be set in the 90s. It can be set in current day. There is a door that's in the movie. So we'd use a door frame that you would find in a theater. Just set a door in a field and dig a hole behind the door. Have some strobe lights or lights at the bottom of the pit. We're talking very cheap stuff that you could get at Costume, etc. Okay? A light coming up from a hole and do it at twilight or dusk or at night, whatever looks better. We're not doing anything unless we get the million. We start from here. Okay?